Hey y'all, welcome back to the Lane Creek Farm. Guys, I'm going to our secret spot on the farm here, and we're going to get us some morel mushrooms. Last night we had a heavy frost, and some of the mushrooms looked like they were being affected by the frost. We've had frost probably for the last 3 nights. I went ahead and covered them up with some of them with leaves because I was running out of hay, and some of them with hay and straw. So we're gonna go get them today. I counted about 16. There's some that I want to leave, but we got to get some of them before they go bad. So come with me. Talked about it difference of times. This is the creek talking about here. We have a creek running through the property. But let's go over here and we'll check on this first mushroom here. I can't remember the exact size of this one, but if it's big enough to eat, I might leave that one. So I'm going to cover it back up with the straw for now, and we'll let it get a little bit bigger. There's certain sections of the farm that the morels go on and certain sections that they do not. There's some areas throughout. Oh, I see one that I missed right here that I didn't cover up, and it's black on top. So I'll probably cover it up tonight because it's small. I want to leave them as long as I can. We have had a never-ending winter. And morels really like spring. They're not a fan of winter. And so usually I can let my morels get pretty good size. But with the weather being what it is, it's hard to keep them and allow them to get really good size. Like I've had them get like the size of my hand, but it's hard to keep them that size when you're constantly having the danger of frost hitting them. Like I said, there's certain sections on the farm that grow them, and we're extremely blessed to have sections of morels that grow on the property, which is crazy. I'm trying to use my body to block and shade. Do you see it there? Do you see the tip where the frost got it? I'm going to cover it up and see if we can let it grow just a little bit more because it's kind of tiny. So what I'll do is I'll take some of these leaves and cover it up. Oh, sorry. I'm not doing a very good job. Oh, there's a piece of coal, so I'll mark that there. That way we kind of know where it's at. I don't want to knock it down, and then I'll grab us a stick and mark it so we can find it later. So I covered it up with leaves, and then I put 3 sticks around it sticking up out of the ground, and a piece of coal. That way we could find it later on. Now, I don't typically have to mark it for ones like this. This is a morel under here. See, we covered it up with the straw, and it does not have any frost damage, and it is the perfect eating size. If you're not expecting any snow and you're just expecting like a heavy frost or a frost like we've got the last couple days, covering it up with straw, hay, leaves really works. It protects them. As you can see, it worked here, and we've been having a heavy frost for the last couple days. Like I said, I covered this one up last night because I knew we were going to have frost, and there's a few others that I covered up. That way we could save them and preserve them for a good time that we could process them and eat. Morels only last in the refrigerator for about 2 to 3 days, and then they get mushy, and I kind of like to eat them as fresh as we possibly can. Usually we will have them with some kind of, we'll have them as a side with some kind of meat like pork chops, fish. We love them with fish. So we're going to go ahead and get this, and I'll kind of show you exactly how I pick them and what I do to help maybe have more for the next year. Sorry for the lighting, but I can't find a good way to set the camera up. So here's the morel. I usually get it down at the bottom. Try to break it as close to the ground as possible. And a lot of times you'll have dirt and muck in the bottom. I hope you all can see this. Now what I'm going to do is shake it. And the reason I do this is because shaking it will spread those spores of the morels. And I'm going to shake it in the area just like a salt shaker. But you got to be careful and not smash, obviously, or break the morel. But you want to shake it around to spread the spores, in the area. So that's how I do it. And it might seem goofy to do that, but it actually works. I have increased the amount of morels that we have in this area because I do this every time I pick one. And don't she look pretty in the basket? So now we've got a couple here. So there's one there and one here. You can see where I covered it with the hay and the straw. Let's check them out. I thought I started the camera and I did not. So we're going to pretend like this was in the ground. I'm actually holding it. I didn't start the camera. I didn't know if this was a good eating size. It looks perfect. So I've already broke it off. See, ta-da, magic. Now we're going to shake it. Shake it in that area. And I want to spread them spores around as much as possible. You might feel goofy. It might look goofy, but it's totally worth it. So here we go. Put her in the basket. Now let's check this one out. This one was one, let me shade it a little bit. This one was one that got hit by the frost before I got to it. It's also very heavy, and you can see that it is leaning. But it's the perfect eating size, still edible, so we're going to bring it in. And what am I going to do? I'm going to cut it off at the bottom, and we're going to shake. Shake, shake. Shake your morel. Shake your morel. Shaking it. There we go. She goes in the basket. Okay, this is a different area. We have several here. We've got one there, one there, one here. We've got one there in that area that's covered with leaves. Looks like one got broke off there, so we're going to leave that. I don't know what happened to the top of it, but it got broke off. We will leave it. We've got some there, and we've got some where I've got the stick sticking up there. So I can't remember the exact size, so let's check this one down here first. It's good eating size. So we'll get it. You can see where the frost has hit some of it. This is one of the first ones that came up as well. See, last year I was able to have morels that were like from the tip here to this big. I could let them grow that large, but not this year. Oh, I dropped her. See, it was starting to mold at the bottom as well, so. But it's still edible, so we're going to bring it in. And of course, shake them spores. So I'm walking up the hill here where I had some marked. But listen, you got to be careful where you walk because you might not see one, but it doesn't mean it's not there. So, can't remember the size of these. Oh, yeah, these are good. This area always has two. I don't know why. It usually always grows two morels. So, twins. This is a funny part where somehow I got in slow motion while recording. So while it's going very slow, we can talk about the morels a little bit more. I'm going to explain in this video how we cook them, where we find them. As you can see in this specific area, it's heavy wooded area. There's dead trees around, and it's under a sycamore tree that is actually a triplet. It has 3 trees in one. And typically on the farm, in our own private stash and patches here, we find them in those areas. We find them on the hillside. And I said in the beginning of the video, but I cut it out. I probably need to put it back. We have a creek that runs through this area as well. It's not very big. It's just a small creek. But typically that's where we find them even outside of the farm. There's usually a hillside, usually sycamores, usually dead trees, leaves, a creek running through. That's just the areas that we find them in our area. As you can see here, this ground is really black. And this is actually a specific area where an old railroad track ran through that's no longer there. And so this area is got, as you've seen earlier, I marked an area with a piece of coal. It has coal in this area. It's just a real rich ground because of all the deterioration of the leaves and the trees. And like I said, it has those sycamores around there. And if you find anything around a tree that's growing, usually the ground is aerated pretty decently as well. So this is our spot. And like I said, we have a couple patches throughout the farm. But typically one of those 3 things is in that area: a sycamore tree, dead trees, and or a creek. I covered this one up. I don't know if you can see it with the lighting or not. Let's see. There we go. Maybe. And it's shriveled up. I think I'm going to leave it because it's not really good eating size, as you can see, and it's already dying. It could be 8, but it's not. So we'll leave it and let it spread spores. I'm pretty sure we had one over here, if I remember correctly. Oh yes, there she is. This one is a good size, but I'm going to leave it and see if we can let it get a little bit bigger because it still looks very healthy. Here is one over here. This is a good size one. And I believe, let's see, I might leave this one as well because it still looks like it's got some growing to do, and it looks pretty healthy. So we will cover it back up as well and save it for later. Now I do have one right here, so you can see the stick sticking up that's under there, and I do believe the frost got it before we got to it. We actually didn't see it until yesterday, so we'll see what it looks like. If the frost got to it, I'll go ahead and pull it. That one looks really cool and really funky. It's got a hole in it, and although it looks really healthy, if I leave it, that hole is going to start turning black and rotting, so it makes more sense just to go ahead and get it now. Can you see the hole? It's a cool looking mushroom though. I remember this one. It was a bigger one, and I think it was on its way out. Oh yes. And so we'll definitely grab that beautiful thing. All right, so we've got 8. And I don't know how many people we're eating with this. We usually split them in half, so that'd be 16. And so I'm trying to think. I know I have one down here, but I don't think it's very big. So I'm gonna go check this area. I also want to show you the tree that majority of these are growing under. There's a giant white sycamore. I think this is sycamore. I don't know what they're called. Anyways, it's huge. And I think that's why there's so many that grow in this area, because of its size. We're going to walk down here and check on this one. Sorry for all the moving. But I think it's small. Yeah, it's little. We're going to leave it. It's too small. It's going to be done, but I decided I'm going to check up here. This is actually the original spot. Or like right about here is the original spot we found the very first morel on this farm. And I want to make sure, I didn't cover anything up here because we couldn't find any up here, but I just want to check. Because sometimes you can go to the same area and never see them, and then you check again and there is some. So we'll look around up here. Look how pretty it is as well. So we're going to look. This used to be one of the pastures for the horses. As you can see, we've had quite a few trees pop up since the horses have not been here. We'll scan together. You'll tell me if I've missed any later. Okay, I've been looking and I'm not seeing. You kind of got to walk slow. Pay attention. But one thing about morel hunting, once you find your first one, it usually puts you in a groove and you can spot them a lot easier if you've done got, this in your eyes. Once you find the one, it's like your eyes can pick up more from seeing. I mean, not that we don't miss some, because we totally do, but it's okay to miss some. Like I said, you want to take some and leave some. You don't want to take them all. If you just wipe an entire area out, you're going to have a lot less the next year, and so on and so forth. So we really try to conserve them as much as possible because we want some every year. I look forward to this every single year. There's that big tree. You can see it. Hold on, I'll sit my basket down. That right there is the triplet tree. So there's one here, one here, one here, and then here's the sycamore there. There's the sycamore there. I don't think those are sycamores. I'm calling them sycamores. Are they sycamores? Somebody tell me. Are those, what do they call them? Water maples? Is that a water maple or a sycamore? What is that, guys? I'm not good with trees. Andy is really good with trees. Way better than I am. Not me. I don't see any around the bottom of it, though. So. Okay, so off to the kitchen with these. Don't think we'll be able to eat them tonight. We have church this evening, and that's usually right around supper time. So we'll probably have these tomorrow, hopefully with some fish. We have some fish in the freezer. Maybe we can have them with them, or if we've got time to go fishing, maybe we can have them with some fresh fish. But guys, they smell so good. Okay guys, on to the fun part. I'm going to go ahead and apologize for all the background noise that you're probably going to hear as I'm recording this. The wind is blowing like 40 miles an hour outside and it's loud. But as you can see here, I have cut the morels in half and we are frying fish. So while the fish is frying, I cut the morels in half. Now we're using the same batter for the fish as we do for the morels, which is a flour cornmeal batter mix. And I always cut those morels in half. Well, I say I always. Sometimes I cook them whole, but typically you're going to want to cut them in half just to make sure everything is good and clean. Sometimes there's a bug or two that you miss. And so it's just easier to cut them in half. Also, if you're serving more people, you know, obviously if you cut it in half, you're going to have more. So by the end of it, I think there was like 5 or 6 of us eating. There was 6 of us eating supper that night, and we had plenty of morels. We're also making some mashed potatoes with this meal. So we had cornbread, mashed potatoes, macaroni salad, coleslaw that was left over, and baked beans from the night before. Me and my mother-in-law are cooking in the kitchen together. I'm doing the frying. She's doing the sides. So, but look at them morels. We're deep frying them, but you can also saute them in butter. You can fry them in oil, not in a deep fryer, but just make sure you're salting and peppering your flour mixture real good, and then frying them up. It only takes a few seconds, honestly. I pull them out maybe a minute. For each morel, I pull them out once they're golden brown. You don't want them too crisp. But I feel like once they turn brown, it happens very quickly, and just whip them right out. Ricky wants hot dogs. Ain't that crazy? I was editing the video this morning and realized that I had forgot to make an ending. So here we are. Here's the ending. I just want to say, guys, thank you so much for supporting our channel. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't given this video a like, please give us a like. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We have all kinds of crazy things on this channel, so y'all check it out. But guys, thank you so much. We'll see you all on the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.